sports listeners. I'm your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Woo! And we're talking all athletes.
Good morning. Oh, my God. Another beautiful day here in Santa Barbara. We have a full house. We have guests. We have kids. We're going to be doing a little hygge. Dominique has been, she looked up something in Daneland. Okay. And I guess we've been saying it's not hygge, it's hygge. Okay. So we got to say it the right way. It's not a potato situation. But anyway, Dominique's going to have a section. We've got Kristine Marie in the house. She's going to be finishing up, I guess, chapter 13 of the commitments of conscious leadership. Sloan Reali's in the house. She's going to be giving us a heads up. Don Sanders. Of course, our producer, Richard Dugan. Yeah. Dr. D, where can you find us?
Well, you have to go to Google Maps and you got to put in Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio and you won't find anything there, but you will find us on AM 1290 and FM 96.9. You will also find us on AM 1290 KZSB.com where we stream. You'll find us also on the internet at Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio.com. And you'll also find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Stitcher, Player, FM, not Yahoo, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and many other locations too numerous to mention. And we're also on that brand new internet station, Real Eternity.
Eternity Ready Broadcasting.
Yeah, you see, I read my script and I dyslexicked it.
That's all good. It's all good. So, Jeremiah, we appreciate the relationship that we have with you. It's a Christian broadcasting group, and they're just folding in content along with their great Christian music. So we appreciate everybody. But listen, we got two kids. I can see they're both squirming, okay, in the house. We're very excited to introduce Mathew Weitzel and Clara McDonald. Mathew, Clara McDonald, Bishop Diego High School. So let's get it rolling. Mathew, start us off. What's going on at Bishop Diego? Not Bishop. What's going on at DP High School?
Okay. So in boys tennis versus Santa Barbara, they won all nine sets and won overall 16-2. Lacrosse won versus Pate 16-8. Baseball won versus San Ynez 13-0. Boys volleyball versus Cabrillo. Troy Fitzgerald had 6 kills and Parker had 6 digs. They won 25-9, 25-17, and 25-13.
Wow.
Swim versus San Ynez. Junior Ava Bennett and Emma Gilbert won first and second in 100 free. And softball versus SM won 5-4. Had 5-1 in the first inning. In the 7th inning, and SM scored 4, but we held together strong and pulled the win.
Beautiful.
Right.
So school's almost over with you. What are you going to be looking forward to in the summer?
This summer, I'm going to Hawaii to a music festival kind of thing. I'm gonna be singing in it, and I'm gonna be doing a lot of volleyball. I'm gonna do probably beach volleyball this summer, and there's gonna be open gyms at the school that I'm gonna go to, and that's my plan for the summer.
You had it drop down that you have pipes, and right above you, if you look like this up, if you look straight up, you'll see Sloan Reali, a vocal coach. And we do team bonding here. So if you need to reach out to somebody for a little help, she's right there. Sloan, you got it. This is what we do. We share, we give love. We're a community at Teen Sports Radio. Support our kids, support our businesses, support our nonprofits since 2010. We just create this big vortex of love. Okay. Sloan, you got any questions you want to ask him?
Uh-oh. Well, Mathew, holding out.
Yeah.
Can you just real quick tell me about the music festival? You said that you're actually singing in that. Are you a solo artist? Are you going with a band? Tell us a little bit about the festival.
I'm not quite sure what I'm doing yet. I'm going to go in there I did my auditions for it. So I got into it, and then I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing there, but I'll find out when I get there. And I'm just hoping for fun.
Is it like a summer camp sort of thing?
Kind of. It also has like it's a music festival, so there's professionals, and then they also throw in some kids along the way. That
is
festival.
So cool.
What an experience! What an experience!
If you want any info, vocal coaching by Sloan, I'm all over the internet, but there's a bunch of free stuff. And if you need help preparing for auditions or putting your set list together, I do all of that. So I'm here as a resource to you. And use me.
Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cute. All righty-o. Here we go. Now we got to start. Now we got Bishop Diego High School. We've got Clara McDonald. Clara McDonald's has been ripping it. Okay. I'm like, not another post. I just close my eyes. If I see anything red with female, that's Clara. That's it. Clara, talk to us. What's going on at Bishop?
Well, we haven't had much going on since we're on spring break, but on Tuesday, the boys, baseball, they played Carp and they lost 7-5 in the 9th inning.
Oh.
Which sucks because Carps are our rival.
Of course.
And we usually beat them in everything, and then they got us in baseball. But track had competed in a track meet at Carp. It was the Russell Cup last Saturday, and there were over 45 schools there. And I took first in the shot put and the discus, and then my sister took third in the shot put, and then Austin Crenchington took second in the 200, and Sue Lamanu took first in the discus and fourth in the shot put. So we had a lot of high placers at that meet. And then this weekend we're competing at the county championship. So that's one of our biggest meets. It'll be everyone in our area. So last year I won both the shot put and the discus. So I'm trying to do that again. I was athlete of the week this week.
Again! Right? Again!
Yeah. So that was really exciting. But I've just been preparing for a big CIF run this year. In track.
So awesome. Well, you got mommy and daddy training you at home, right? There's no break.
Yeah.
You look like you're a little sweaty.
There's no
vacation. There's no vacation at the McDonald's house. I love that. So I told my kids if we're blessed enough to have kids, they're still in their 20s. So they're not allowed to get married till they're in their 30s. But if they're in their 30s and they have kids, I already said we've got Dominique and me. She would do the academics, and I would do the athletics. Start off at 18 months. Set up the little goals, set up everything. Shot score. It'll be really loud. So that's so awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Perfect positioning for next year. I mean, it's all CIF. That's just awesome. They're going to be knocking at your doors. I tell everybody this. My youngest, because being the youngest, not always, but you turn out, I think, to be the better athlete since I got to drag the youngest around the oldest. All from 3 different states, right? So you have a younger sister, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. So you're putting all these capsules up. So that's what my oldest son did. He put up these high marks. So by the time the youngest went through school, honestly, it cost me, and this is with having an apartment. I paid for his laundry, the apartment looking outside. He saw water. It was craziness. Okay. It only cost me $200 because he had the grades. It only cost me $265 a month. So
whoa.
That's for a private school. Holy Names. Up in the San Francisco Bay Area. So there's a lot. Don't discount $40,000 or $50,000 a year tuitions when you have the grades, like I know you do, and you have all of the sports, and you're going to be going for it. Honestly, you'd be surprised how much money the private schools have, and it's just really it's a great experience. It's a smaller school, something they're used to at Bishop, and Holy Names is just a really good. Put that on your radar. They have a lot of money.
I will.
They have a lot of money to give away. So, yeah.
So we always remind our teens, student athlete, student comes first.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So proud of you. Anybody have any questions for Clara? You can't sing, can you, Clara?
No.
You do everything else. You want to learn to sing? You know what I mean?
Everybody can sing, by the way, and there's no such thing as tone deaf. It doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So, all right, so good stuff. So let's do this. We do have a guest in the house. We're going to zoom over to him, and I'm going to leave it up to Don Sanders. Don Sanders, who'd you bring today?
I invited Mr. Terry Carabatos, who has opened a new pizza business in the Miramonte area called Air Pizza. And it's not just great pizza, which he can explain more about, but it's also a purpose or mission-driven endeavor. And I immediately was interested in that. And my wife and I have been in a couple of times, and I got a chance to meet him and talk with him. And I thought he should come on here and share about what he's doing.
Fantastic. Nice to meet you. Beautiful. Tell us the story. Tell us what was the inspiration behind your business.
Well, thank you first and foremost for having me on your show. I think this is the second time I've been invited to a show to get to talk about Air, the nonprofit, and Air Pizza, our lovely sourdough New York style pizza. And once we finish paying our debt that took to get this place together, proceeds of all sales will go to Athletes in Recovery, the nonprofit. So basically, a little bit about my story is I was an athlete, still am an athlete. Wanted to be a professional soccer player or baseball player. Those were the two things that I was kind of going for. And, like I told Dawn, you kind of realize in high school around sophomore year when you got it or you don't got it, and then it's kind of like you kind of hit a place of kind of sadness because, you've been striving for this for so long and your heart is broken basically, and so AIR, the nonprofit Athletes in Recovery, is really it is my story, and I think a lot of people's stories, and we kind of lose our program. So the other part of it is I'm 19 years clean and sober, thanks to the 12-step program, AA specifically, and don't recommend AA, but I need to say that AA saved my life, and I'm really grateful for it. Like they teach us in the 12-step program about higher powers, about first being honest is the first principle, hope is the third, is faith. That sophomore year, when I realized that I wasn't going to do things that I love to do, I kind of lost my faith. And what came in is a lifestyle of skateboarding that I always did for fun and surfing that I always did for fun. I didn't have the ability, first of all, of becoming professional in any one of those. And snowboarding too, early 90s. I'm 46 years old. So, and of course, those activities, what we call gravity dances, led my lifestyle of wanting to party and use. It's like a perfect match for many years. So, March 22nd, 2003, I got sober. And I started meeting people that I really respected that had a lot of sobriety that inspired me to do this, and one of them was Tony Alva. And Tony Alva was the first frontside aerialist on a skateboard. Dogtown was a documentary that came out in the early 2000s, and then Lords of Dogtown. So through that experience, me and Tony just started talking about setting up an organization to help athletes, specifically X-Game athletes, with recovery and addiction and medical services. So it's been a long road. And another good friend of mine, Solomon Aga, has Pizzanista in downtown LA. And it's been one of my biggest supporters in this, because, in the X Game category, they don't have an association or a union to do any type of advocacy work for the athletes. They're independent contractors. So one could easily say they're easily taken advantage of by the industry. And so, when they're not sponsored, they really don't have money at times to get the benefit, things that they need, medical services. So Air Pizza and the nonprofit Athletes in Recovery has been inspired by so many of my friends, skaters, professional and amateur. And that's the thing that I was telling Dawn about just all sports dance, like gravity dances, because I really don't consider surfing or skating or any of the X game deals as sports. Because I think sports, the way I define it, is like sports is like you have like a team, like you have like a team mindset. And with what we do with skating, it's a very individual thing. So I think you need both in life, talking to Tony and to Sal and stuff, Sal totally, and he has an amazing sourdough that he gave me the recipe to, but he's like, why don't you set Air Pizza in Ojai? We try to get a spot. So he's like, it could benefit your nonprofit. So with that said, we've been working at it. This is just at the start of it, but we're really excited about the future right now.
Let me do this. I don't want to cut you off, but we have to go to break. Okay, but
yeah.
we're gonna have some questions for you as well. So we have a little bit more time in the next section to go over your journey, Air Pizza, because you had me at New York. Okay, because that's where I'm from. You say New York and pizza together, I'm interested. So
you had me at sourdough.
There you go. At the sourdough. All right. So let's get back. All right, with more right after these messages.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
This is Don Sanders, donsmassageojai.com, revitalizing therapeutic massage for Santa Barbara and Ojai and Ventura. You can come to me or I can come to you. And we have a wonderful guest this morning, Terry Carabatos of Air Pizza in the Ojai area in Miramonte.
Nice. All right. So anybody have a question? So let's talk about this. Okay. Sloan Reali raised her hand. What do you got, Sloan?
That was an accident. But since you've given me the mic, Terry, I really appreciate your story. And I have my, it's all supposed to be anonymous, but I too am very, very grateful. I'm living an amazing life today I never imagined. And my relationships I thought were not ever going to heal, ever. They have made progress going in a positive direction. And the secret sauce, it's those 12 steps. Shh. 12 steps. I'm telling you. No matter what your background. So really glad you're here. You're doing a great thing. I hope to get out there and try some of that pizza for sure.
Just to make a quick plug to teens, I had a situation when my kids were growing up and they were in high school, and I actually went to an Al-Anon meeting, which is a meeting for people who may not personally have an issue with drugs or alcohol, but know a family member who does. And I so benefited from attending just a few Al-Anon meetings. So I just want teens to know there are lots of places all around our community where you can go for help. You don't even have to say who you are. You're welcomed in. And it's really nice to know that there are other people experiencing things that you may be experiencing.
And we all know over the last 2 years how dauntingly horrible this has been for our youth and our kids. We can look at the numbers now, and it shows dramatic increases in mental health issues. You can go right down the line. So having this approach to a business, wrapping itself around a nonprofit to help the community, is a win-win, and we will definitely be supporting that. So that being said, I would like to offer a commercial to you, and you could work with our producer, Dr. D. And we'd like to get your business out there. I know it's in Ojai, but we love road trips.
Yep.
Okay. So
we love pizza.
We love pizza. New York sourdough. We love it all. So, but that's what we would like to do for you. And anytime you want to come out here, anytime, if you have a message or you have something that you want to share, I'd also invite you as well to have a platform. Let this show be your platform to serve the community. And I would be blessed and honored for your involvement in Teen Sports Radio. And I mean that sincerely.
Most definitely. I mean, one thing I'd love to say to any youth or teen that's listening is that I think the message now, especially with fentanyl and, fentanyl is one thing that I believe that should have an executive order. It should be literally banned. And it's our president's duty, having that suffers from addiction, numerous stints of addiction is, Biden's son, Hunter. So our president knows about addiction and these issues, and fentanyl is one of those things. It's used for horses and for big animals. When I work with youth, I'm a drug. I know count too. So when I work with these kids, I really try to paint the picture to them that specific drug, the synthetic opiate, is used for big animals. It was never meant for us to ingest in our bodies. And they've used it. It's been used for surgeries. So as far as drug and going to that place, it's important to, you have your whole life to experiment with alcohol and other things. But right now, if it's about taking a break and saving your mind, memory is crucial. Without memory, you have nothing.
Right. I have a quick question. I want just to turn the mic over. We have like maybe 5 seconds before. We have 2 minutes actually to tie this all up. But Sierra Boatright in the house. My question to you is, so when you raise this money after you get the capital out that you invested, so are you providing a network? Do you have a network of practitioners that you use like a Sierra Boatright?
Well, right now, the two that I've worked at I've worked at one of them, and the other I've just have, brought clients to is Impact in Pasadena. Impact derives out of Los Encinas. And Los Encinas is probably one of the first drug and alcohol. It was a mental facility. Very notorious, famous people went there in the 40s and 30s, 40s, and 50s. But Impact is a nonprofit 12-step based recovery center, and the other is Cry Help. That's that Impact's in Pasadena. The other is in North Hollywood, and they are definitely about the 12 steps and therapy, a combination of sorts. They're one of the last remaining. So once the money comes in, it would be basically then, it would be like a scholarship. It's a scholarship program. So right. If Music Cares is what we're modeling ourselves after, and Music Cares now is part of the Grammys. And so the musicians don't have a lot of money either, especially when they've hit bottom. So they've been around now for many, many years, and it's amazing, what the work that they do. So that's kind of what we're not recreating the wheel. Music Cares is giving me guidance and setting this up. But yeah.
Sierra, you go next.
I have so many thoughts that are flooding through. I want to thank you, first of all, for the work that you're doing. And, teens sometimes come into sports as an escape from things that are happening at home that don't make sense. And that's why I really appreciate Dominique's recommendation for Al-Anon. I am the adult child of an alcoholic, but I didn't know until I was 21. And someone who had experience in 12 steps told me. So thank you for your work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Kristine, you want to close out the segment?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about, I work for the Department of Behavioral Wellness here in Santa Barbara County. And so we also there are also on the website, there are specialty services and there's the safety program that is a possibility, and other things for transition age youth, for lots of people. So just to go ahead and, check that out for the, I was looking, I just kind of Googled it up really quick.
Let's give them the access line, Kristine. Let's give them the access line, because that's how you get to any of those services.
Yeah, well, for teens, there's a 24-hour total, well, for everybody, access line is 888-868-1649. That is the access line, and they can help you with mental health and with alcohol and drug programs. They actually do a screening for you. Yeah, and so there's more information. Yeah, and I think at one point I'd love to bring a guest from our alcohol and drug program and also from our TAE programs here. So I'm going to be working on those guests to come in future. But what a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much for the work you're doing, Terry. It's really wonderful.
That's everybody. I want to get the response. Everybody, we're going down to Air Pizza
Woo!
That's a road trip down to Air Pizza. You say pizza, I say New York. You say pizza, Kristine says sourdough. So let's take a break. We've got a lot of show. We've got Kristine
in New York that does sourdough. So we're one of the leaders. There's Fluid State too out in Ventura that I'd like to give a nod out to. So.
All right, well, do it. Give the nod because we've got to go to break.
I didn't say this, but sourdough is a much healthier option. It actually brings nutrients to your gut. And so some of us have suffered from that leaky gut. So you'd actually be doing something really good. Every morning, my dough maker scoops the acidity and the alcohol that arises to the top of the starter. So. Great. And we've had people that are allergic to gluten that are able to cheat. I say cheat.
Yay! Yay! Well, we're going to check it out. We're checking it out shortly. This is Erica Saul. We can take a break. Be back with more after these messages.
How we want the bump. Give up the bump. How we need the bump. We got to have the bump. We're going to turn this mother out. We're going to turn this mother out.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Vocal coaching by Sloan here at Teen Sports Radio with my peeps. Good to be back again. I thought there was some intro or something coming in. Okay, so, in alignment with the conversations we've been having. If you, the listener, whoever you are, whether you're a parent, a business owner, an athlete, a teenager, one of the biggest things that I see in dealing with clients coming in for voice is people aren't breathing correctly. So I want to give you a real quick exercise right here. All of us that are here on the meeting. Now, if you're driving, this is not going to be good for you to do unless you pull over. But wherever you are, at some moment in your day, sit, lie down flat, feet on the floor, both hands. Actually, I'm finding what's really helpful is I'm calling it binder breathing. Is take something rigid or your hands against your diaphragm muscle, which sits. Hey, Richard Ellsworth, I'm doing a little breathing exercise. Come join us. Your diaphragm muscle is a balloon muscle that sits below your rib cage above your belly button. And what I want you to do is using your breath, imagine that most of the world is inhaling up into their shoulders and their ears, creating more tension in their neck and migraines and upper back pain. Stop doing that. Catch yourself when you're doing that and create space between your neck and shoulders. I want you to breathe, visualize, do your best, leave the rest. Breathe in through your nose or mouth, down past the lungs into the diaphragm, moving your hands or that rigid object forward with your inhale. And then you exhale, and what should happen is your hands sitting in your diaphragm, your book, your binder, whatever. On the exhale, when you exhale, that should contract, meaning you're drawing, you're exhaling, releasing the breath, moving your belly button towards your spine. So try that a couple more times with a deep breath, nose down and forward with the diaphragm, filling it up like a balloon, and then exhale and release all of that. Shh, and release it. Hear the sound. Shh. Let's do one more like that all together, wherever you are listening to this right now. Nice deep breath in. And then exhale and relax. Shh. Just let your body sink a little deeper into your chair or the floor or wherever you're at. And just let it all go. Yummy.
Let it out, as they say. Let it out. Richard Ellsworth always says that to me after I run it in hearts. Yeah, right? Sierra, I know you do a lot of meditation and breathing in your practice.
I do.
How do you want to do? And I know I'm imagining that the last couple of years have been just as tired on the whole wellness, all the therapists, the practitioners, because you probably have been on overload for the last few years, am I right?
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing tool for self-care, whether you're the therapist or the client. And in a therapeutic sense, one of the things that I build onto what Sloan shared is when you take that inhale and you're expanding that diaphragm and you're really like bringing space into the center of the body where a lot of us hold difficult emotions. People hold emotions in different places in their body, but a lot of people will clench the gut or clench like in the solar plexus area as a defense mechanism against the difficult things in the world. So breathing into that and creating actual spaciousness in the physical body becomes this way of, visualizing spaciousness in those difficult feelings. But the exhale, I like to focus on making that just a little bit longer. So say you take four count breath in and fill that balloon, taking that like a 6 count breath out with that shh, or even like a blowing through a straw. It compresses the air. And what I've been told by the yoga teachers in my life is that when you purse the lips and make that breath have more pressure coming out, you're actually able to absorb more of the oxygen from the carbon dioxide that you are exhaling. So now you've got like a more oxygenated bloodstream, which is going to help with your brain and your clarity and your nervous system and bringing that all down. And of course, being the nature-based therapist that I am, I love to engage people doing that while they're laying on the ground and watching a cloud or watching the trees and the wind, because they can really like now extend that awareness beyond themselves and tap into a power greater than themselves, whether they call that higher power, God, the universe, spirit, their own wise self. And so now we can take a breath with the world, with the planet, with the tree, with the sky, and now the expansiveness is even greater. And we can resource that as just a quick mental health break in the middle of the day, whatever's going on. So those are some things that came up for me as Sloan was sharing. I'm Sierra Boatright, licensed marriage and family therapist at Santa Barbara Ecotherapy, and you can find me all over the web and social media. Love working with our teens and those who love them.
Nice. Thank you. Kristine Marie, she's been doing a book chapter by chapter. She's on chapter 13, and she's all excited because she says this chapter 13 is going to tie this show together.
And yes, Kristine Marie, Transformational Tarot. You can reach me at 805-350-2705. You can also get a tarot reading with me at Paradise Found. I'm there the third Sunday of every month. And I'm on the website too, paradisefoundsb.com. But we are reading. I've been going through the 15 commitments of conscious leadership, a new paradigm for sustainable success. And chapter 15, commitment 13 is experiencing the world as an ally. So thank you, Sierra, for helping us breathe in with the world right then in that moment. And what's beautiful is the quote, or the above the line quote says, I commit to seeing all people and circumstances and as allies that are perfectly suited to help me learn the most important things for my growth. And some of the things that they talk about is basically a conscious leader looks at things that everything is an ally to us, and that's everything is helping us learn. Again, this is the premise of the book, that all of life is happening for me, not just to me. And where, one of my favorite quotes from this chapter actually is that other people don't even have to consciously commit to being your ally. If you are committed to experiencing them that way, they are always instrumental to your growth. And one of the examples that the authors give is that of athletes. When athletes know that workouts to make them faster are the ones that break down their muscles, tearing up their fibers so that they can grow back stronger. So the benefit of pressure, as a conscious leader, we know that the benefit of pressure either causes us to wake up and take action or allows new things to come forth. The things have to break down first so that then we can move forward. So when we're seeing things, one of my experiences recently was that of coming to a place where I saw someone as a villain for me, and I kept creating these villains in my life, these enemies. And I thought, why am I doing this? What's the point of this? And so I'm now coming around. It's so great that this chapter came to this place of saying, okay, that person was an ally for me. That person helped me step into a place of leadership and empowerment in my own self that I needed to be in. And I needed that resistance to stand in my strength. And so I just love this idea that supportive pressure is a catalyst for learning, change, and growth. It challenges the leader to fulfill their potential and live in their full magnificence. So as teen athletes, I invite you to see those places, those competitors that push you. They might even beat you, but the next time they might not, right? Because they're showing you where you need to learn and grow in your own journey. Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. All right. So we've got a little bit of time left. Right after these messages, we have Dominiqie Hackett. We got some Ooga right after these messages.
Well, now together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Together we'll stand, divided we'll fall. Come on now, people, let's get on the ball and work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, because together we will stand, every boy, every girl, and a man.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m.
Welcome back to Teen Sports Radio. This is Dominiqie Hackett with Santa Barbara Wellness Center and Philosophical Books for the Blind. I love to do a Hackett Hooga. Do you want to say Hooga in the most best Danish way?
Hooga. That's what it is. I listened to it like 25 times. I hear he's reaching out to people in America who have been saying it wrong. So I just play the replay.
Hooga has to do with all things that are comfy and cozy in your life. And if you tend towards making your life a more natural life, that seems to increase that comfiness and coziness factor, which makes life way more enjoyable, makes it easier to be a student, makes being an athlete more fun. What I want to talk about this morning is creating a morning ritual. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that we've talked about today that can be incorporated into a morning ritual. But I just want to give a suggestion of to teens, pick a cup or some container that you drink from first thing in the morning, whether you're drinking warm water, whether you're drinking regular water, or maybe a cup of tea. It could even be coffee with some crushed, washed eggshells in it. Coffee with eggshells that have been cleaned alkalizes, takes some of the acid out of the coffee. So it actually makes it a little bit healthier for you to drink it. But I want to recommend, create something for yourself that you're looking forward to. You have your special cup, and then you have a relationship with that cup. Maybe you do just a little bit of writing first thing in the morning, whether it's making a list of the things that you want to get done today, or maybe it's just a little bit of journaling. The suggestion is first thing in the morning is a great time to just let your mind dump. Whatever it is, throw it down on a piece of paper. You can toss it out and throw it away. But giving yourself time to listen to yourself is a great way to start your morning. But if you set yourself up with a tiny little special little morning ritual that you look forward to, it is a great way to get that momentum going in your day and make your day start out with a smile, with something comfy and cozy that makes you feel good.
Don and Richard have something to add to that. I know it. I can see him writing. And all of a sudden, Richard just, has good hair and he just smiles. Okay, we'll go Don first.
Yeah, morning rituals are very important. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. And sometimes, your inclination is not to get up, especially if it's early. But if you overcome that bit of resistance, then you're setting your day on track. You won. Then you can enjoy your morning beverage, coffee, whatever it is. And you can think, this is going to be a great day. You're not running behind the 8 ball.
Nice. Richard, what do you do?
Well, this is a very, very beautiful synchronicity with the idea of tearing things down to build them up even stronger, and then starting with a morning ritual, because that's what the morning ritual is doing, right? You're getting rid of all of that bad stuff so you can build up stronger throughout the day. And it's the whole healing process, right? If you have some sort of disease and you're healing it naturally, the body breaks everything down first before it builds back up. So people start to get sicker as they're healing. And then all of a sudden they start to get better because the body doesn't like to build on shaky grounds. So when you think about that morning ritual, it's kind of a time to cleanse and knock stuff out, right? So starting the day with a glass of water or a green juice or I like to take, just to make it easier on myself, I'll take that like Amazing Greens, whatever powder that you mix in with water, just to start the day off alkaline, right? So that my body can kind of push things through. Or if you throw a little bit of lemon in the water too, kind of gets things moving, clearing stuff out, resetting the balance. A lot of stuff builds up at night to detox from, right? As you're sleeping, there's a whole bunch of detox processes that are going on. Things build up in your lymph nodes that need to be cleared out of your system. When you wake up in the morning, that's the time to flush all that out. So that's what I like to do for my morning ritual. And if I can add a little bit of movement in there too, a little bit of exercise or yoga or something, that can really flush things out.
Yeah, that's a good approach for the inside. And then also be mindful of the things that you watch, the people that you might talk to, because you only have so much. Dominique, what the therapist said one time, I have this much energy, right? And spread her hands, say to 2 feet, and then explain to the person and double the size. You're taking this much. I don't have it. So, the combo and the balance of those two is super, super important, because you don't want to get stuck in that vortex of negativity, because I don't know, maybe you just get punchy on the dopamine hit that you get and you're reacting to that, but that's just not, and then that's going to not stabilize all the good things that you're doing on the other side, whether it's meditation or the nutrients that you're trying to offset it, because stress isn't going to help you metabolize any of it. Don.
Yeah, well, Richard said, remind me, I like to down about 21 ounces of water first thing in the morning for hydration's sake, and then find something to hang on. I have a place like the old treehouse I built for the kids, and elongate and decompress the spine, because gravity compresses us all day. It's great to have breathe and hang for 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sloan likes to bounce on the bouncy ball. Okay, she has a chair that's a bouncy ball, and she's not on it today, but I've had many of videos that I've enjoyed just watching you on that bouncy ball, Sloan.
I want to know if you hang upside down. Richard, do you hang upside? Don, do you hang upside down?
Sometimes, yeah. I have one of those inversion tables. Yeah.
Nice. Kristine, we've got maybe 30 seconds left. Go ahead.
I wanted to just actually circle back to the beginning and then what Terry brought about the 12 steps. And thank you, Richard, for talking about how tearing things down and building things up. I think sometimes life does tear us down and we don't know why these things happen. They can be very difficult. And there are ways to help us build them up, whether it's a 12-step program, whether it's, coming back to basics with your family. There are so many resources to help us once we get to that place where we've been torn down, and it will make us stronger.
Yeah. In the ups and downs of life, we are the point in the middle that goes through the ups and downs. We're not the up, we're not the down, but we're in between.
Got a few minutes left. Fill up your coffee. It's going to be a shorty. Be back with you after these messages.
Of Brazil, back in the USSR, way down in LA, every day, dancing in the street, crossing China too, me and you, dancing in the street.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m.
Welcome back to Teen Sports Radio. This is Kristine Marie with Transformational Tarot, 855-350-2705. And the one thing I just wanted to remind us all and invite everyone to do is to really be conscious of gratitude for what is. Everything that in life is happening for us, and to really acknowledge that, because it is in our acknowledgement and in how we see the world as whether it makes it heaven or HE double hockey sticks on earth.
Definitely. So, and we don't have masks. So masks off, smile on. Okay, let's everybody smile, smile, smile. God bless. See you next week.
You're the best around. Nothing's going on.